Medical school is not hard. Hi there, welcome back to Beauty Medic TV. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tamika Williams, and here on Beauty Medic TV, you will experience all things makeup, medicine, and motivation. In today's episode, this is all about medicine. And with that being said, we will be debunking some myths about medical students and medical school. I've been hearing so much perceptions about medical students and medical school, and I'm like, sometimes I wonder if I actually go to medical school, because I actually have never experienced these things, or these things just simply have proven not to be true. So today we will be debunking some myths. I have about 10 myths. Now some may intersect with one another, and also if you're a medical school student or you go to medical school and you've heard some outrageous thing that simply just isn't true, then let me know in the comments. And also, if I'm speaking the truth about these myths that I'm about to debunk, then also let me know. But before we get into this video, I would appreciate it if you would take the time out to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, as well as leave a comment below. And if you're feeling extra sweet, then please share this video with your friends and whoever else. I will really appreciate it. Okay, so the first myth that I have is medical school is hard. Now, it depends on who you ask. Some may say it's hard. Some may say other things. Some may say, what you mean? Of course it's hard. But I personally don't feel as though medical school is hard. I feel as though getting into medical school is more harder than staying in medical school or medical school itself. Now, what I will say is medical school is not hard, but it's hard work. That's what we're going to say. Medical school is not hard. Medical school is hard work. Okay, everyone just studies all the time. Baby, I can say from experience, and I can also say from watching my peers and watching even my seniors, that everyone do not study all the time. The only point in time that we probably study all day every day is like the 2 weeks towards our final, or like the month before our final. But trust me, we do not study all the time. If anything, we say we're going to study all the time and do not study, but we still get our work done. We get our work done. We get our work done. You need to be the smartest of the smart to get in. Now, of course, there are certain minimum requirements that you must meet in order to apply to anything, not just medical school, but anything in general. Because if there wasn't a cutoff point, then anybody would just go and be a doctor. And even my cat would go and be wait, I don't have a cat. Even Sally Cat would go and be a doctor. Everybody is applying to medical school just because they have the grades. It's more of, okay, yeah, you're smart, but what else do you have that will make you a great physician for me to want to even give you this opportunity to become a doctor? Do you have empathy? Do you have compassion? Do you work well with others? Do you have leadership skills? Can you communicate effectively? Stuff like that. Do you know how to manage your time? Have you collaborated before? Certain things like that is what they usually look for when they are choosing their applicant. So yeah, you don't need to be the smartest of the smart. You actually need to be more than the smartest of the smart to get into medical school. You need to be more than smart to get into medical school. Yeah, you got the grades, but what else do you have? Is truly the question about getting into medical school. So the next one is no sleep. Now, baby, this is my favorite one, because one like me, one like I will take a nap. You can ask all of my friends, you can ask my flatmates, you can ask my school husband, hi husband, I'm just joking. You can ask literally everyone and they will tell you, this girl right here, she will definitely take a nap. I don't even cut up on sleep when it comes to school. Like, either it do before bedtime or get and do tomorrow. Like, that's just how it is for me. I do not skylark on sleep. But honestly, the most time I feel as though medical school students lose sleep again is during final exam period. Like, those 2 weeks is like crunch time. And I could sacrifice like 2 weeks worth of sleep, but throughout the semester, I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep plus, and I'm also going to take a nap. You best believe that.
Period! 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 Period!
Okay, the next one is you no longer have a social life. False, false, false. People swear up and down across that medical school students do not have a social life, and I can guarantee you, if you go to any campus party, like at the beginning of the semester, you are bound to run into a medical school student, and more likely they're probably the wildest one there. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But honestly, you do have a social life, and I feel as though people make time for who and what they want to make time for. So if you want to make time to socialize, you definitely will. And I would also say that sleep and socializing is also important, because becoming so consumed in just working all the time, working all the time, working all the time can really put a dampen on your spirit, and you will also get demotivated very, very, very quickly. So, two things I tell everyone who asks me for advice when they go to school: I tell them to take their rest, and I also tell them to socialize. Find time to maintain a social life. And for me personally, I have a mantra that I live by. I do not work on Sundays. Sundays is my rest day, and whenever I do that, I want to, because God rests on the seventh day. Who am I to think that I don't need rest if God Himself rests on the seventh day? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so this next one is you don't have time for relationships. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into this, because I do want to do a separate video about maintaining relationships and friendships in medical school. But I am going to reiterate the fact that people make time for who and what they want to make time for. If they want to, they will make the time for you. If they are using that excuse, then baby, they either don't want to talk to you, they either don't want to have nothing to do with you, or you just ain't worth the time. What I can say is maintaining relationships while in medical school can be taxing, simply because the workload is heavy. Remember, I said medical school is not hard, it's hard work. The workload is heavy, and there's a lot of effort and time you have to put in to get the work done, and to be able to meet not just your goals, but meet maintain the academic standard of the school in order to stay there. So I feel as though persons who you may be friends or in a relationship with, y'all should have that open line of communication and have that level of, I wouldn't say faith in the friendship or relationship, where they understand that, hey, I cannot come out all the time. I cannot talk to you on the phone 24/7 because I have things to do, and I need you to respect that. And I need you to respect the fact that I'm working towards my goals. And honestly, we too big to be trying to explain these things to people. Everyone have their own individual lives. So either you understand that, okay, I don't have the time to talk right now, or you go about your business and go be with someone who have the time. But at the same time, like I said, people make time for who and what they want to make time for. So if they're not making the time and effort for you, then baby, you wouldn't have won. Move on. Life goes on.
Stop it. Get some help.
Failure is the end. And when I say failure is the end, some people really believe that you can't fail at all in medical school. Baby, many people failed a lot of times in medical school, and they're still there. Failure is not the end all be all. If you fail, the school do provide you with options to resit the exam. After a certain amount of failures, obviously they will ask you to leave, but Like everything in life, if you don't get it the first time, try again. Failure is never the last option. I feel like almost every avenue in life, you have the option to try again. Failure should never be the final answer. And matter of fact, it's never an answer because always choose C. When in doubt, choose C, and C is trying again. I will be a comedian so bad. No, all jokes aside, failure is not the end all be all. I feel like many academic programs give you the options to either resit or retake or give it another time because so many things can happen that could be the result of failure. It is not because of incompetence. It could be to many other external or internal factors that you fail something. But just because you fail means that you're a failure. You're only a failure if you don't try again. So if you have ever failed anything or if you are afraid to fail anything, just know that you can always try again. All medical school students are nerds. Now, what's so funny about this is every time I'm studying, one of my family member calls me a nerd. Whenever I say something like I crack a joke and they don't get it, they call me a nerd, but that's okay. But when I think of nerds, I think of people who like wear glasses. Oh wait, I wear glasses. Anyway, I feel people who on TV who like wear glasses and they like snort and stuff like that. That's how I feel nerds is. But honestly, for me, I don't know. Maybe my group of friends are just so awesome, but we hardly ever talk about school. We talk about like traveling and living our life more than we talk about school. School is not our entire life. The only time we discuss school is if we um making sure we keep making sure that we are each other's accountability partners. That's the only time we be nerdy. I mean, we might crack some jokes here and there, but does that make us nerds? No, we're not nerds. We are, and possibly maybe some of the coolest people you ever meet. Like, have you met me? Have you ever met my friends? This next one is actually very funny. Most of these are funny because these aren't true. So this one says medical school students are very disciplined with a strict schedule. Okay, let me be clear. There's this thing called imposter syndrome that most medical school students suffer from. You should look it up because even if you're not in medical school, you might suffer from the same thing. But trust me, medical school students, most students that I've come across, I feel as though we spend most of our time trying to be disciplined and trying to develop full schedules. And then it's just like at a point in the semester, you just be like, it is what it is. I can get it done. So it is what it is. But for me personally, I am a very, I don't want to say perfectionist because I have yet to achieve perfection, but I do take my time out to be very disciplined and abide by a strict schedule. So that's not necessarily a myth, but I haven't really mastered that yet. But most of the time, follow a very strict schedule. Like I wake up at a certain time, I try to go bed at a certain time. I take my breaks at a certain time, and that's just for me because I personally like structure. But trust me, that is not true. Medical school students are not very, they're not very disciplined. Some are disciplined, I must give it to them. Some are very disciplined. Some really abide by a strict schedule and there's no deviation. Like they really take this thing seriously. I mean, you should, but you know, at the end of the day, we here for a good time, you know? Let me stop saying that. That's not. You know what? At the end of the day, um, it's all about your experience is all about what you make it to be. If you choose to study all day every day, then that's your choice. You can't blame anybody else for the lack of experiences or the lack of discipline that you have because every day is a choice. We make choices every day, so it's really all up to you. But I wouldn't necessarily say that's a fact, but it's definitely not necessarily a myth either. The last one is, even though we're not doctors yet, but we will be doctors, is all doctors have horrible handwriting. I, for one, do not have horrible penmanship, but I can. Like, I know how to do scribble scratch, but I also know how to do very legible, neat notes. And that's just me. I could have a scratch handwriting if I want to, like my mom says. If I'm rushing and I just need to jot something down real quick, it'll just be like PL, paracetamol. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. I really enjoyed making this video. I really had a good time making this. I feel as though most of these were truly myths, and then some weren't necessarily a myth and they weren't necessarily a fact either. It all depends. People do what works for them, and no matter where you go, whether it's medical school, wherever it is, you are going to do what works for you, and not everything that works for someone else will work for you. You just have to find your routine. You have to find what you like. You have to find your niche, stick within it, and do what you gotta do. To close out this video, I want to say that many people have said to me personally, and I've also heard people saying that they can never do or never pursue medicine because of these very same myths and perceptions that I talks about. And what I want to say is the fear of the unknown should never stop you from accomplishing your goals. You will never know what you can do if you don't attempt to do it. I have one more thing that I want to say before I close this video. The distance towards your goals have to be traveled regardless, so it honestly depends on what you decide to do on that journey. So whether you want to make that journey a miserable one by kicking, screaming, complaining, hollering, whatever it is, that's your choice. Or you can just enjoy the ride. And I know for me, I be living my best life. Honestly, it's really up to you. Just like life, medical school, college, university on the whole is what you make it. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment below. Please like as well as share if you're feeling extra sweet today. Thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.